we're at those breaks as well. So again, as usual, we welcome any feedback and suggestions for future topics and discussion points. We're trying to tailor this to meet the audience needs. So please let us know what your thoughts are if you like this, and also any suggestions on future topics as well. To get a glimpse of future topics that we have planned so far, you can visit our website, the resources page, and there's a scroll through there that you can see upcoming topics and see which ones you'd like to join. And I think we have probably 6 or so lined up so far. So if you also, just before we move on, if you know of someone struggling with Unanet AE, please feel free to refer them to us so that we can help them. And we recently started a referral program. So if you're able to refer somebody and we're able to help them and help them utilize Unanet better, you can earn up to $350 in referral fees. So please, we encourage you to send them our way, and we can help them the best that we can. Also, quickly before we start, just wanted to see if any of you are attending Unanet Champions 2026 this year. It's April 20th to the 23rd in San Diego, California. And if you are planning on attending, please stop by and visit our booth. We have some nice handouts, and also we would love to meet you in person and also say hello. Also, OAS is hosting a social networking party called the Coastal Connections one evening during the conference. So if you'd like to join us, if you're going to be at Champions and would like to join us, please let me know, and we'll send you a formal invite for our party as well. We hope to see as many as possible at Champions. It'll be a good time. But without further ado, today's topic is Projects 101. So we invite Jessica Gandy to take the stage, and she's going to present to us on that topic, Projects 101. Jessica, feel free to take it away. I think you're muted, Jess.
Thanks, Dave. Hi, everyone. This Projects 101 was birthed from a simple question that somebody asked in the chat of one of our lunch and learns. So then we were thinking about, well, how do we expand on this topic? So we're just going to talk about some very basic project setup topics that, sometimes are underutilized and maybe not known about how they can flow through to just make your life a little easier. So I'm just going to turn my video off and share the screen. Okay, you should be seeing Unanet here shortly. One of the first things we're going to talk about is the question I mentioned. Somebody had asked, is it possible to change a project fee type? So example, maybe you started as a time and materials project, and then you need to change it to fixed fee. You negotiated a contract value with your client. The answer is yes, you can do that. There's a couple steps you have to take. The first one would be to come to your project and then just update your contract levels and caps. Can somebody confirm you're seeing the pop-ups? Contracts levels and caps.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I got a new screen and I'm not sure what is popping up or not, please. So thank you. So this one's already set up as let's say it wasn't, you would pop your fixed fee in there. And save and close. It's that simple. And then the next thing you would need to do, so invoicing going forward, if the prior invoices were time and materials, and now it's a fixed fee project, you would need to update your prior billings. And there's two ways you can go about doing that. One of them is to come to the recent tab, and then you can just check sales journal, hit your little arrow, and all your prior invoices will pop up. And then you can click through this transaction ID. And you can update your GL account. So we already have the fixed fee one plugged in here, but whatever fee you're updating it to, you would just open from the little magnifying glass and update your GL account. The other option is in custom reports. If you go to utilities, custom reports, there is a convert project fee type action that you can use. If you double click it and then hit preview report at the top, can you guys see the convert project fee type box?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you, Lynn. You would just pop in your project number. And you can obviously look it up using the magnifying glass. And then it gives you the option to change from hourly to fixed fee or from fixed fee to hourly. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reverse it here. And then you hit next. And then you would just decide what GL account you're gonna be using or the existing one. Should look at what that was. You would pick the existing one and then update it to whatever the new one is that you want to use. And then it'll say click OK to view the entry that's been created, and it creates a general journal entry moving the fee types. And I don't, oh, it did, okay. So then you see your
The converted project fee, this is very interesting for me. But I didn't see how you opened the tab to identify the project or whatever that was that pop up.
oh, okay, I'll go back. Yeah, so if you go to custom reports, I just typed in fee, but the convert project fee, you double click here, preview. I just had the project number memorized, but you know, it'll let you pull in the project, you can search.
Okay,
here.
how did you get that open? I didn't see what you're clicking on.
Oh, there's a little magnifying glass, it's super small, over here. Oh, thank you, Courtney Drews. Do you see the pink circles?
Oh,
Does that
project.
answer your question?
Okay, there you go. Yeah, okay.
Okay, sorry about that. And then, same thing with the GL, it's just a drop down.
Yeah.
Does that answer the question or?
Yeah.
Perfect. So
Thank you.
that's, yeah, no problem. That's pretty much it for project fee type. Once this is done, you'd be able to go into accounts receivable, PA bill review. And then, you know, on your fixed fee tab, you should see the prior bill updated. I kind of, you know, did this in reverse here, so. But, you know, you would see your billing updated, and if there was more to bill, it would, you know, you'd be able to bill that as fixed fee or time materials going forward. The other thing you would need to do for your project is if you're changing it from, let's say, hourly to billing, you'd want to come to the billing tab and make sure you update your main invoice design. And if you're using mixed logo like it's set up here, you would just need to right click on your project title and update your invoice filter so the appropriate invoice filter is being used. Just so you don't have problems when you go to invoice. Before I move on, are there any additional questions on this topic?
How does that affect change in time? You need to adjust anything with your time entries on that in that conversion as well?
No, that would not need to, you would not need to change anything with the time that's already been posted. Hi, Bailey.
Hi, I might have missed this, but I saw it was under custom reports.
Yes,
Is it custom that was built, or is this something out of the box?
this is out of the box.
Okay, just under custom. Got it. Perfect, thanks.
Question. You're welcome.
If you don't have it, it may be a marketplace item. Is it a marketplace item, guys?
I did look in the marketplace and I did not see it there. So maybe I'm wrongly assuming that this is out of the box, but I checked into several databases as I'm like working through clients, and it does seem to be there for everybody. So I made the assumption. But if not, let us know and we can see if we can figure it out. But it's definitely not in the marketplace.
And Jessica, this convert project fee type is for the entire project. You can't just do like one
No,
phase of a project.
You can pick the phase, I believe. Oh. That's really a good question. I did not catch that. Okay, so that is something, a cautionary tale then. Thanks for asking that question, Janice. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Next. Yeah, it would be the whole project. So I guess in the scenario where it's only one phase, you would want to do the first option where you come to projects and then the recent tab and click through any invoices that have that phase billed. And to easily identify that, you can go to your project figures report. So that's up here at view. Then the project figures report, let's just say it's on this first phase. You can click on any of these hyperlinks to see what has been billed on this phase, and it will give you your sales journal ID. So you can easily just go to those sales journals and update the TL code. Good catch, Janice. Thank you.
And I just checked in a brand new database and that convert project fee type is there. So I think it's automatically in everyone's.
Wonderful. Thank you for confirming. Any other questions?
Yeah, I need to do one where I'm going from a unit rate to a fixed fee.
Unit rate to a fixed fee. Can you explain what you mean by unit rate? I just want to make sure.
It's like an itemized invoice, but we were supposed to be billing it as a fixed fee, as a lump sum.
Got it. Yeah, I think you could follow the same process. If you want, we can look at it offline. But it would, it would still be the same.
It's going to work the same, just
Yeah.
okay.
But again, as we just discovered, this is total project, if the total project, and if not, you have to do it individually. So
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Deanna, you can reach out to me as well. This is Martha. We might have to change some GL accounts on your sales journals to get things to match up. You said you're going from unit to a fixed fee,
Yes.
and you need to recognize those units as like a prior fixed fee amount.
Yeah. You and I may need to,
Yeah.
get together on a couple of things with this one.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. We'll reach out. Yeah.
Smart
We'll
approach.
touch base. Thanks.
Okay, anything else? Take that silence as though we're ready to go. Another question we get asked a lot is, can you limit employees from putting time and expenses on phases? And it doesn't seem to be an obvious option, but you can right click on your project. And there's allowable date ranges at the top. So when you fill these in, let's say, not having you type. Oh, there we go. Okay, I thought you could type right here. Sorry. So let's say, this first phase, you only want to allow timesheet entries from today to, you're planning on 4 weeks out to be done with this. You can set those there. You can do the same for expenses. And then, let's say this one was previous. We'll show you.
Sorry, I missed again how you got that pop-up open.
Yeah, just a second. So if you right click on the project title and click on allowable date ranges, it will give you this pop-up. So you can set dates to allow, time and expense. So you're kind of restricting people from entering expenses on incorrect phases, because sometimes, people click on the wrong thing or it's just a little sloppy. And then the other option is you can make the phase inactive. So if you just click on a phase, you can check this box and make it inactive. And it disables time and expense entries this way also. And you can also get to the same pop-up through this little blue hyperlink. It'll show you, just for this phase, what the allowable date ranges are. And then once, you would pass April 2nd, it would grade out, so you would know nobody can add time to this phase. Any questions on this one?
It's not a question, but just want to comment that the allowable date ranges. There is a idea about there is a little flaw in it. If you put in a date of Tuesday, for example, a start date or a end date of Wednesday, it doesn't, take that into consideration. It just looks at the end of the period, so people can
Oh.
charge the whole week. Yep.
That's a great comment. Thank you for letting us know. I did not know that.
I think there's a
Also copy,
suggestion.
copy timesheet ignores your allowable date range.
I'm taking this notes.
So
was gonna say, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You're probably going to say the same thing I'm going to say. Go ahead.
There's a suggestion in the suggestions portal about those things with the locking it out and it not working as anticipated. They have it as planned, I think, now that they're going to try and fix that functionality. Is that what you were going to say, Mary?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. As you probably already know, you have expense groups on a project, and the default is set to, whatever you got set up in global settings, but you can change these here. These are things I'm sure you already know. Let's say you have like just a standard expense group, but a project might have like a one-off markup, or, you can't bill something the way you normally would. You are able to come in and right click on the project and then come to expense markups codes. No, I don't see them too. And then it will give you all the expense codes that are on your project. And you can come either at the project level and then come down here and find your, what you're overriding. There's like a checkbox. I think it made it weird. So there's technically a checkbox here, but for some reason I'm not seeing it. But once the checkbox is checked, you'll get there it is. You get a markup type drop down, and you can change, typically it's a markup. So you would highlight that and then, add whatever your markup is on lodging for the specific projects. This is just kind of for when things are a little out of the norm. Typically we would recommend, if you have a lot of differences between projects to projects, you set up expense groups for those on an individual basis, where, different clients have different needs. But just letting people know that this is an option as well. I don't think it's very obvious to everyone. Are there any questions on this one? Okay, moving on. Another nice feature is on the members tab, you are able to set, not just your principal in charge, project accountant, or project manager. You have the option to set team members. And all you do is click on this little wand under the team members title. And then you can click, let's say Janice, Ramon, and Andy are all architects on this project. You could set them all up as architects at the same time. If their default job title for this project is architect, you can check the box. I'm really sorry that we don't see the check boxes. I don't know why they disappeared. But I think I'm checking them. And then once you hit save, they show up here as project employees. And then we'll do Dwight Schrute as example. He has 2 job titles selected, senior project manager, and I don't remember what I said the other one as. But when you come to his timesheet and he puts his projects on his timesheet and tabs over to job title, it will only allow him to select the 2 job titles that he should be working for this project. And this is a nice feature because then once these timesheets are submitted and approved, when you go into PA bill review, you can expect to see correct bill rates that are tied to your rate schedule on a given project. Are there any questions on this? Okay. So as we know, expense groups and rate schedule. So you set your expense group here on the expense and GL tab. And then you also set your rate schedules. When you right click on your project, you set your rate schedules here. And these typically default to what you have set up with global settings. But let's say, you have a client where the project's different than you typically would do, or, I don't know, just, terrible explaining what I'm trying to say here. Sorry, but, you do have the option of creating a project template. So let's say you get a project set up perfectly for a specific client or project type, whatever the case may be. You can create the template just by checking this template box. I would copy it first. So this is the project I want to copy. You hit copy up at the top left. And then you can put lunch and learn temp. And then, name it whatever you need to name it. And then you can choose to copy all these different fields over. And then when you hit save, it creates the new project for you and it opens it. And then all you need to do is check this template box and hit save. And it maintains the integrity for, that client or project type, whatever the case may be. So then going forward, you can come to new, project from template, and then you can just select that project that you need a template for. You see we have a bunch of different options in our demo database. But here's the one we just created on line 4. I'm not going to create a new project. Does anybody have any questions on this?
I do have one question in the chat, Jess.
Yes.
It's can you show how to set up a rate schedule where it takes each person's pay rate and then applies the multipliers for overhead and profit?
Sure.
And there's a little more to that too.
Yeah, I can show you where you set up rate schedule. So that would be under project administration. And then rate schedules. And then you have your different rate schedules. So when you hit new, up at the top left, you would give your rate schedule name, and then you have to select bill rate, job cost, pay rate, cost plus. Did you want a bill rate schedule or a pay rate schedule?
I believe it's pay rate.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm. So
Oh, I'm sorry, it's bill rate. Bill rate.
Oh, okay. So you would name it, select that, and then you have your start date down here. So let's say you are a little behind on getting this rate schedule entered and it was supposed to start on 1/1. You can backdate it, hit create, and then once you have all your rates in, you can go to human resources, recalculate rates, and the system will then pick up the rates that you entered. But here we have a blank rate schedule, and to add employees by either employee name or job title, you would come down here and add rate. It's on the bottom left, next to the big white block. And you click add rate, and so you can either search by employee and pull in an employee, or I think more commonly is job title, where you just pick the job title, and then job titles are assigned to employees. So, as those things update, you know, you can, I think it's cleaner, but that's my opinion. And then once you have your employee and job title, or let's do admin, once you have that in, you can either do a flat rate for billing and, add that there. And then your multipliers are over here. So if there's a multiplier you wanted to add in, that's where you would do it. Same with if you're overriding regular pay rate. I don't think I've seen this one used, so if anybody on the team has and can explain this area a little better. Want to chime in? Otherwise, I'm gonna have to research that more and get back to you guys on that part. But I typically only see, they use flat rates. Any additional questions? And then when you hit save, it would show up here. And then you just keep adding rate until you've had all your either job titles or employees accounted for.
So there was like a second part to that question as well. And I'm not sure if you touched on it, but it says additionally, how does that type of rate schedule show up in project planning if you're not using resource planning by people, only by billing class?
Ooh, that's above my head. Martha, Courtney, Drews, Mary, anybody?
Can you repeat that question? I'm sorry.
So it's additionally, how does that type of rate schedule show up in project planning if you're not using resource planning by people, only by billing class?
I'm not sure I understand that question. Is that this one that we're showing, this rate schedule here? Is that what the question is?
So I think it's still a bill rate schedule.
Yeah.
In there.
Right.
What I was trying to ask is if we are trying to bill our client at a rate that is each individual's actual pay rate, but then a common multiplier is applied for both overhead and profit onto that specific. I don't know how to get it set up in the rate schedule and then how it shows up over in planning. I use the bill titles all the time, but I'm just trying to figure out, I've got a project now that needs each individual pay rate, be using that as the base and then apply the overhead.
So if you need a schedule like that, you can set it up here and it will work for billing, but it won't work in the resources. If you're scheduling if you're doing generic resources, because the system's not going to know if you schedule an engineer one or a designer. If you've got your bill rate schedule set up by person, it's not going to know how to pull in a rate for it.
Right. Okay. And that's exactly right. So I wasn't sure how to do the planning part of it. And I didn't know if you could plan off of one bill rate schedule and bill off of another schedule.
I think you can.
Yeah, you can do that. Yep. Yep.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to just keep on playing because I'm not, you know what I mean? That gives me hope.
Okay.
Yeah,
There
I
is in
mean,
the plan settings, when you're in planning, in the plan settings, you can set a different bill rate schedule there than what you have on the project set up with the bill
right.
rates.
Or maybe
Okay.
we can just show that so you know where to go.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry,
Do you want to go in there, Jessica? Go into project management and project planning and pull up a project. It doesn't matter which one. And Courtney, I should just be quiet. You're doing good. Yeah.
So you can pull in the rate schedules here. So you tell it what to budget by. And then you could select that one, or if you have a specific rate schedule down here, you could also apply the multipliers right in here. And if you pick one, maybe you pick the bill rate schedule first and then you want to toggle it to the other one for budgeting. If you say cancel here, Jess, in tools, you can toggle back and forth by recalculating the rates for your plan. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think it does. I just have to play some more at getting getting my, first of all, my multiplier bill rate working, and then have the traditional one for the planning on the budget side. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. And then similarly to project templates, you do have the option to set up WBS templates that you can apply on a project by project basis. So those are stored project administration WBS templates. And then we already have some set up in the demo database, but you can, add new lines if needed. You can create a new, on the top left, if you could create new, give it a name, add your different codes and names. What's nice about these is that, keep your codes and your names consistent instead of manually, because when you add a new project, you would add a project structure, it could get tedious coming up, right clicking and adding new phases one by one. Then once the WBS template set up and is accurate, then everything's coded correctly and names correctly, spelled correctly. And then you would right click on the project template and apply WBS template. And then you would just use the drop down to select what template you want to use. And then you can either, sorry, I don't know why that one wouldn't allow me, but the customize box would let you customize, and you can uncheck all or check all. And then if they're all checked, you can just, unselect the phases that maybe you don't want to add to your project and hit apply. And then it would bring them in for you. That's just kind of a nice feature to keep things consistent. Any questions here? Moving on. There are, when you set up a new project, you have to set your code, your name, charge type, or it won't let you save in your client. There's additional fields that can be used and filled in to help you filter data. Once your project's set up and you've started having time and expenses, you started your billings. One of the fields is this report type. And these are customizable, so whatever came out of the box can be changed. So you have your report type, and then you have market sectors as well. You just check the different boxes. You can apply percentages. And let's say you don't like these market sectors or these report types. These can be updated if you go to administration, list management, and then you would just find your different fields. So you can easily enter lines. You can double click, you can rename them. So it gives you a lot of flexibility to filter data. And we'll get to where we would do that. And then your report types are down here. The same thing, you can, am I looking at the wrong one? Is it project?
Toggle the list to user list, maybe?
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
I found it, yeah. But same thing here, you can add as many lines as you want. You can change what the existing report types are. And then one example, Courtney Drews actually gave how some of her clients are using this. She says that if you base it off your professional liabilities form, then you can use project revenue by type to come up with your numbers for the following year. And one of the reports we can use for that, I'll come back to your question. Sorry, I have it open. If you go to project management, PM reports, one of the ones that is super helpful for filtering is market analysis. And when you hit run, and then you hit print. Thinking, it will filter your data by your market sector, and then you can use that for, populating your reports. And then another one, I'm just giving a couple examples of reports and how we can. Project invoices, if you hit run, you have the options of sorting by different factors. So you can sort by your market sector, project manager, if you're trying to gauge how different project managers are doing. And then you have different settings that you can filter through. And then here you can also drill down into different, if you want to just look at specific principals or project managers, or just a specific client, you are allowed to filter that data down even further. So it's kind of a very basic report. I thought it was. Sorry, guys.
Jess, I think Chantel has a question.
Yeah, Chantel.
When you were in administration and you were pulling that information up, I didn't see where you
Okay.
got
Project.
so in administration, and you said what were we supposed to click on the side there?
Oh, down here, administration, and then list management.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of lists, so it is like kind of cumbersome, but you can filter it down by system list. No, I don't see anything. I mean, it's still quite a long list, so it is kind of tedious to find what you're looking for, but these are where you can make those updates.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions?
There's one in the message box that says, in your example of market analysis, to see data, can you filter to a date range?
The way it's set up in here in our demo database, I didn't see that option, but I believe we can, I'm just double checking. Yeah, we only have the as of. So you can do project dates, but I think we can come to utilities and then the end report designer. And we can click on that report market analysis. And then there's this edit default prompts at the top. If you click on that. So anybody know if we can get this to change?
Yeah, I think so. Say cancel.
Okay.
And then
I think you might need to copy it.
Yeah, I think you have to copy it
Okay.
first.
All right, guys. We'll do this button.
there you go. And then check that box there for the use range for period 1. And then that should do it. And then if you needed more periods, you can change the option there.
I'll just change it to 2 just so we can see what that looks like. Thank you, team. Well, I think I have to close this, don't I?
Yeah. And then make sure you give permissions to it too in that PM report designer.
Look at that real quick. So if you do copy a report, you do have to come to permissions and either check off your group or individual users so that group or user can see the report when they go to view reports. Report. Oh, I didn't give myself permission, right? You guys still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So I don't see in this capital. If one of those groups allows me to see it now. So now we see that copy. When we hit run, we see we have the date ranges. Are there any other questions on this? Are there any other questions about projects in general? Any issues that you run into, headaches? Anything in general? Anything in the chat, Tim?
Chat, we've covered everything so far in there, as far as I know. Feel free to come off of mute and ask any questions you have as well.
There are no other questions. I'm going to pass it back to you, Tim, but if this is, you think on it later and there's other things that come up, let us know. We're happy to brainstorm with you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jess, very much. And thank everybody for their questions and shares as well. Like Jess said, if you have any questions in regards to this project's topic, please feel free to email us or talk to your OAS consultant. They can help as well. But thank you again, Jess. Really nice job. And hopefully that got everybody's wheels turning a little bit on what can be done in projects and how important it is to really set up projects correctly so that billing and things like that down the road, resource planning and things can be done in a way that it works well. So just by way of what's next, again, you can find this on our website as well on the resource page, and then the events coming up. There's a banner that you can scroll through. But in 2 weeks, we have the next Lunch and Learn topic on project planning, but this time in the web app. So there's a lot of little tricks and tips in there as well. So we look forward to that presentation. And then on March 30th, there's going to be a discussion on the in-focus jobs and the APIs. So we'll send some more information on that as we get closer, so you know what that's all about, but just to give you a heads up of what's coming down the pipe. And again, if we can help any further with project setup or anything to do with Unanet, please feel free to reach out to us. We can set up one-on-one time if you don't already utilize us for that. We're happy to do that. My contact information is there if you'd like to contact us, or you can visit our website as well. And just by way, we mentioned about the champions coming up in April. I just got a note in my email that the discounted pricing is ending as of March 13th. So if you're planning or thinking about going to champions, this may be a good time to sign up and get the better pricing. And if you are planning on going or end up choosing to go, please let us know and we'll send you an invite to our gathering as well, which will be a good time. So thank you everyone for attending this session, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. Have a great rest of your day.